Hi guys, my name is Emily and today we are going to be doing the sink or float challenge. So what you are going to need is a bucket like this filled with water. It could be a container or a bowl. You're going to need the printout for the float or sink challenge that has your item name, your prediction, and your result. And then you're also going to need 8 items from your house or your backyard that you want to test to see if they're going to sink or float. So today I have a softball, an ice cream scooper, a little Olaf plastic toy, a clothespin, some toothpicks, a plastic straw, a popsicle, and an elastic band. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our sheet and we're going to take our items and we're going to write down which item we are going to test first. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the clothespin. So I'm going to take my pen and in the first one here where it says item name number 1, I'm going to write clothespin. Okay? And so now we have our prediction. So do I think it's going to float or sink? Well, it's not too heavy. I think that it might float. So I'm going to write float. So I've got my clothespin and I predict that it's going to float. All right, so now we're going to put it to the test. So we'll take our bowl filled with water, take our clothespin, and put it in, but it sinks. I was not expecting that. So I was wrong for my prediction. So we're gonna write that down on our paper. So I predicted that it was going to float, but the result was that the clothespin sank. So we're going to write sink because it did not float, it sank. Okay, so now you're gonna move on to your next item. So our clothespin is out of the way. So let's try our popsicle stick. So we're gonna take popsicle stick and we're gonna write it in the first column for our item, number 2, popsicle stick. And now you're going to predict. Do you think it's going to float or sink? I think this one is gonna float. I know I was wrong last time, but I think this one's gonna float. So I'm gonna write down float in the prediction category, right here. And then I'm going to test it. So let's put it in. And it floats, so I was right. So you add that in your results column. So on number 2, when we wrote popsicle stick, I predicted that it float, and it did float. So the results were floats. Perfect, we'll do one more just to make sure you guys know what you're doing, okay? So number 3 here, we're gonna do one more item. Let's do the ice cream scooper. So we're gonna take our ice cream scooper and we're gonna put it in our first column here. Ice cream scooper. All right, and we're gonna predict, is it gonna float or is it gonna sink? I think that this is gonna sink because this is pretty heavy. So I'm going to write sink in my predictions column, okay? And now we're gonna test it out and we're gonna see if it sinks or floats. So put it in and it sinks. I was right, awesome. All right, so we'll put that to the side. We'll take our paper and we'll write in the results column that it sinks. And you're gonna do that with all 8 items. You're going to put the item that you're testing in the first column. You're going to put whether you think it's going to sink or float in the second column. And after you test your item, you're going to write what your results were in the third column.